Hello everybody and welcome back to another weekly edition of Timeout Talks, which is brought to you by Chasing Thrills Custom T-Shirts and Accessories, sponsored by the Ice Shaker and also sponsored by Make It Mac. You guys can buy your custom Timeout Talks apparel via www.chasingthrills.com, and you guys can purchase your Ice Shakers at www.iceshaker.com. Don't forget to follow Make It Mac on Instagram and Facebook. As always, want to welcome in all of our viewers across all of our social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, following us on Instagram as well. Thank you. We are back. We've already got the chat booming. I got to keep up with it. Let's go. We've got Charlie O'Donnell in here. We've got Jeff. We getting right into Trey Lance or saving it, and we got Jeff Warren saying, I'm just going to get ahead of it, Ben. I'm worried about our Steelers Pats bet. So, Jeff, we can talk a little bit more about that bet a little bit later. And Charlie, we can get right into Trey Lance before, because guess what? Today is all NFL. We are going to be predicting the Patriots, Steelers, and Cowboys records for you guys. Super excited. This is what we do, Ben. At once a year, we give you our predictions for each of the teams. And it's been 2 weeks. We're jonesing to talk. We'll kick it off with Trey Lance, and I'm just going to kick it off with this. I was at the Red Sox game. It was Mookie Betts' first game back Friday night. Didn't fail to see Alex Verdugo hit a first pitch home run. That was cool. Leadoff home run. That was cool. But I'm getting a text. I get like a notification, the group chat's blowing up. Somebody looks over to me, one of Chris's friends, shout out Butch, my friend as well. He goes, hey, you see, you guys just traded for Trey Lance. I'm like, what? We just gave up a 4th round pick for Trey Lance. I'm like, my mind's rolling the gears. I'm like, damn it. Like, James mentioned this cap. Like, what the hell are we doing? Like, then I took a second. I calmed down, looked at the cap. It was only $6 million over 2 years. Good insurance. Potential there. I know I've been harsh on him on the show. I will say that. I'm not going to stray away from that, but I don't hate this move with Dak's injury concerns. Cooper Rush, he's a good backup, but he's not an established starter. I like it. Gives us some depth. $3 million backup, whatever. The cap's going up. Cowboys have some cap to work with. They're not going to go out and get another receiver. They're not going to go out and beef that lineup. Besides the fact we went out and got Noah Ajuwada, whatever his name is. We traded Kelvin Joseph for him. See you later. Have fun in Miami. But other than that, even Romo's meowing. He's cool with it. I'm cool with it. I like it. I think Dallas needs to be aggressive. Got to put all our chips in. This is our window. This is our time. And I like it. I'm not saying Trey Lance is going to come in and be the guy, even if it doesn't work out for Dak, but I don't hate it. I'm going to take a quote out of Jerry's book, and then I'm going to turn it over to Ben. Doesn't hurt us, doesn't help us.
Hey, shout out Jerry. Can't wait. We'll be chilling tomorrow. Got a nice little fantasy draft tomorrow. I want to shout out Cody, everybody. Can't wait to see Jerry over there. Another one with the Patriots bet. I got a lot of riding on this season. I'm banking on the Steelers' easy schedule, but starting with Trey Lance. To be honest, Josh, I didn't even really know about this one. I kind of was a day late on this. I was reading an ESPN article. I was just scrolling through, seeing some of the MLB scores, and saw an article about it. I was a little late on that one. That's on me. But I think it's all good for him right now. I think, $6 million, that's going to be, perfect for you guys. You didn't really do anything. That was one of my main concerns too. Maybe you sort of just imposing on that cap. Did you have enough money? But I think it's a perfect backup. I mean, not established, but I think he's better than Cooper Rush, as Josh laid out. Might as well take a chance because Dak, he's getting up there in age. I'm not saying he's going to replace him, but we've seen him get injured. The injury concerns of recency have come up, so I don't want to. I'm kind of all done with Cooper Rush. Not speaking as a Cowboys fan, but speaking for Josh right now, I think Cooper Rush experiment's over. Let's get a little solid backup over there. And I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited for Trey Lance to maybe sort of showcase himself a little more in this backup role. Maybe get another spot, Josh, in the league. So I think he deserves it. I think he kind of got a little tough situation with San Fran. With Brock Purdy coming in there like that. Can't blame him on that one. Just got to let the cards fold there, and they obviously just wanted to move on, put all their faith in Purdy. So I think this is a win-win for the Cowboys. Like Jerry's saying, it doesn't hurt us, doesn't help us. I think you upgrade the backup position. So whatever. She's getting a little nitpicky. Me and Josh talked a pre-show about some things, getting a little nitpicky. Losing fourth-round pick doesn't hurt. Of course, cheap, but the Cowboys, as Josh mentioned, they're in. I almost said we right there, but they're in win mode right now. They're trying to win it all right now. Dak's getting up there in age. A fourth-round pick isn't going to kill him. If it was a second, a third, that's a little pushing it. But I think a fourth round's perfect for Trey Lance because you never know with Dak. You never know what's going to happen with him. Especially with Tony Pollard again, his first real workload season, and without Zeke or anybody, we don't know if we're going to bring in any other help. But it's looking like it's going to be Pollard's show this season. So I think it's a great move for the Cowboys, and Trey Lance hopefully gets another shot somewhere else.
I think that's kind of the big picture here is, even 49ers organization, a bunch of them were saying it. He didn't really get a fair shot there. I don't think he's extraordinary, but hey, maybe Mike McCarthy can get something out of him. Maybe this Cowboys organization, like you mentioned, in a spur of the moment, somebody gets hurt, Dak Prescott gets hurt, anything can happen. We went through the Ben DiNucci times where all of a sudden our third and fourth string quarterback was in 3 or 4 years ago. So you never know. Like you said, Ben, I like to ante up. The fourth round pick, yeah, it does hurt, but I think the overall notion of having insurance or, a young quarterback ready with a very good offense and a good system around him would be beneficial if Dak goes down. I was kind of puzzled at first because I was like, Cooper Rush did a great job last year, but I don't hate it. I don't think Jerry's losing it in this sense, but I will say one thing. I know Jerry likes to throw a fire under Dak. He likes to put a fire to the media, and the stuff that he's been saying hasn't been, charming for Dak Prescott. I feel like he kind of plays into this whole, you turn on ESPN, you turn on any type of football station where they're talking about the NFL or the Cowboys, and you're saying, oh, is this quarterback controversy? Does this light a fire under Dak's ass? I think Jerry Jones plays a little into that with his quotes and the stuff that he says. Overall, I don't think this is anything to do with Dak's job. I think his job is secured, and I think that Dak Prescott will remain the quarterback moving forward. We'll re-sign him. Next year he'd be making like $50 million if we don't re-extend him. That's way too much. So I think the Cowboys need to get their eggs in line. We're going to figure it out this season, make a good run. And I don't want to give too much away because we got the schedule predictions coming up. But I like the move. Doesn't help or hurt. Shout out Jerry. And I just want to say one thing as well. What happened to Malik Cunningham, Bailey Zappi? Patriots only have one quarterback on that roster. One. So we'll see what happens moving forward, who they trade for. They cut Trace McSorley as well. Didn't expect him to make the team, but they've had 3 cuts to those guys. And shout out to Dylan because Jabril Cox, I guess Cowboys didn't want him. Linebacker, I thought he was going to play a big role this year. Ends up on the waivers. So, some interesting cuts today, Ben. Just want to throw those in before we get to our schedules. But we're going to have a lot of time for these schedules. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, totally excited for it. I was a little confused, Josh. That was a good one right there. A little confused what the Pats are doing. Only one quarterback, I know. Everyone's a little confused. Are we going to put all this trust in Mac Jones? It's a little too much trust, I think. I think we got to maybe get someone else on the roster. Jimmy's thrown out there. Maybe they're trying to just sneak some guys in on the IR, how about the 53-man roster? Maybe we see these guys come back eventually once they clear waivers. I don't know, but it's kind of a strange move. Maybe a move. Bill Belichick's just trying to be smarter than everyone else again. It's kind of strange. I thought you'd keep at least Zappy. Everyone was kind of bought in from the fan base, from the Zappy fan point as being the backup. Never know, possibly challenging Mac Jones. That was, there was some Zappy chants out there multiple games last year. So, you got to remember that. But overall, kind of a strange move. They're going to have to do something, Josh. They're going to have to get someone else on the roster. I don't know if I know some people were maybe. I didn't know. I know he wasn't being serious about this one, but they threw Carson Wentz. Maybe some of these other guys, maybe they got a guy in mind. Because kind of seems like an odd reason. Here we go again, Jimmy. Yeah, Colt McCoy.
He's here.
That was another guy. Yeah. But I mean, listen, Colt
Jeff
McCoy.
Saying the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really get. I'd rather have Zappy or Malik. That's a nice little youth. I don't know. And there we go. Maybe Drew Bledsoe. Yeah, maybe Drew Bledsoe would come back.
Buddy.
That would be good. That would be good. They were pretty good back then with Drew Bledsoe. So. Maybe take a chance, but I thought Malik was the next big thing over there. Jimmy was pretty high on Malik Cunningham. He was bragging to me how he's, Lamar Jackson, the next Lamar Jackson. So
I love it.
Hopefully, I don't know what's going on. Hopefully he comes back. I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do. So everyone seems to be clamoring for Colt. Josh, I don't really get why everyone wants Colt. So. Hey, it feels good to be the Steelers fan, not dealing with the quarterback stuff right now. We got everybody's set. We're ready to go, so we're good. I don't know about the Patriots right now, Josh. A little confusing.
So he's throwing out those jabs. Let's get to it. I'm jonesing. I believe the order that I have it is me, you, James. I put James's. James didn't go game for game, but that's fine. He has his. We got his predictions in for each team.
It's a good prediction.
So I'm going to start it off. We are going to go to the Cowboys. That's the team decided to start it off with. I want Steelers in the middle, Patriots at the end. I feel like the Cowboys get enough talk. I know people are probably going to go, oh, well, you're starting off with them. Whatever. Figured we'll get them out of the way first. So here we go. I'm going to say week 1. The Cowboys are going to break a little tradition here, which is they usually lose week 1. That means that they usually make the playoffs. They're going to win week 1 on the road. The day before 9/11, it's going to be an interesting one. I think it's going to be a back-and-forth game. I think Dak Prescott's going to rally those boys back. It's going to remind me of that game way, way, way back when Romo dropped the snap, threw it to Jason Witten to win the game towards the end of the game. Cowboys go on 1-0. Then we move on to week 2. Aaron Rodgers has dominated us. Even though it's at home, it's almost like it's a home game for Aaron Rodgers. I got to be realistic. I think Dallas drops this game. Something about Aaron Rodgers. I hope I'm wrong. Something about him we struggle with. So I say we go 1-1 in this point. Then you fast forward to week 3. I don't think there's too much to talk about here, Ben. Just struggling Cardinals organization. It's on the road, but no Kyler Murray, who owns Dallas. They're going to have a quarterback carousel going on at this point. They're all in for Caleb Williams next year. I think this is going to be Dallas's first blowout win where everybody's like, this is the Dallas Cowboys we're looking for. So Dallas moves on in that one. Then we come down to week 4. An interesting matchup that dates to about 2 or 3 years ago when CeeDee Lamb waved you guys goodbye of the New England Patriots.
It's the best.
We could be seeing that again. I think the Dallas Cowboys are going to win this one, send the Patriots back home to New England. It's going to be a close game. Every time we play each other, it's always a close fight. Dating all the way back to the Tom Brady days, it's always been a close game as well. And this game, I was just this was the one game I'm just already looking at on my schedule. I would love to get redemption in the regular season, even though it doesn't equate to the postseason. But on the road, Candlestick, Sunday Night Football, lights are bright. I think Dallas is going to lose this game, bring us to 3-2. we always struggle with this team. I think the 49ers are going to do a good job of running the ball. Christian McCaffrey, too. That's a player that just always gives us a hard time. I do think Dallas is going to be up for this game, but not up enough. And then that's going to bring us to a quick little win streak where I think we're going to beat the Chargers on the road. I like what Dallas can do against the Chargers. Even though it's on the road, I think this is going to be a close game as well. I have to see it to believe it in that Chargers team. That's a tough division, tough schedule. I think we get that one done. Roll into the bye week at 4-2, come right back, play a middling or less than middling Rams team that's kind of up in the air. They've got a lot of older players. They've got some players hurt. They've got Cooper Kupp coming back on injury, Matt Stafford on injury as well. I don't know what to expect from them. Dallas is going to be at home. I think the Rams keep it competitive, but Dallas comes out alive. We win that one. Then I'm going to get to some comments, but then we go to Philly. I'm going to keep it realistic. Early game in November here. The weather's starting to change. Tough environment. I think Dallas is going to lose this game, which will bring us to 5-3 at this point. It's a tough game here. I think Philadelphia and Dallas always have a split divisional game. I think Dallas wins the one at home. So that's what I'm going to take here. Here we go. We've got Super Bowl, Josh's Super Bowl, James coming in. Charlie Pats should have beat the boys that year. On Monday night, question mark. And Josh sleeping on the Rams, huh? And Rams equal trash. Yeah, I'm sleeping on the Rams.
Everyone could sleep on it.
Yeah,
Josh, everyone could sleep on the Rams. But I shout out to Chi. Yeah, this schedule is fair. So far, it's fair and realistic. So far, I think, I got to agree with Chi on this one, Josh. I think Josh has done a good job with it so far.
I'll reveal that final, record towards the end. But then this game, I really was the game I went back and forth on in terms of the divisional games. I thought, just the Giants haven't beaten the Dallas Cowboys since Daniel Jones was in college. They've got to do it at some point. I have a gut feeling we win week 1. I think maybe they come into Dallas after a loss against Philadelphia. Dallas does that weird thing where they lose. Kind of take us back to last year's Thanksgiving game. Dallas almost lost to the Giants. It was a close game. Battled it out towards the end. Then we ended up coming back. And then we lose that one, 5-4. Then the win streak starts to come. I think we rattle off a win against the Panthers, who I believe we should go in and win. Rattle off a win against Sam Howell and the Washington Commanders, Redskins, whatever they're going to be. Prime time Thursday night game. Tough game. I think we itch it out against the Seahawks. Very good team. I think they're going to be a playoff team, so I don't want to slouch on them. That game could go either way. It took me a little bit to decide that one as well. Then I think, like I mentioned, we're at home, Sunday night game. We already lost to the Philadelphia Eagles. We got to turn things around. I think we get a win here. Bills. This is an interesting one with Jared. I do think we're going to lose this one against the Bills on the road. I've been in that environment. It is a very hostile environment. Last time we played the Bills, they gave us our money's worth. I just think Josh Allen's going to be too much for our defense to contain. There's going to be those games where you just lose to the better team, and in this case, I think the Bills are the better team. They're going to win that. We're going to roll down. Dallas does that weird thing where they go through losing skids. I got us going through a couple losing skids this year. This is going to be our last one in Miami. Tough game. Hopefully Tua's playing at that point if you're a Miami Dolphins fan. If he is, I think we struggle. Dating a couple years back to the last time we played in Dallas, Miami wasn't that good of a team. We struggled. Xavier Howard gave us headaches. I think he might give us some this week. Towards the end of the season as well. I think we lose 2 games in a row. And then rattle off 2 against a very tough Lions team at home. And then on the road, we always get those Washington Commanders on the road to end the season. I think we get a win in a gritty moment, battling for that division, battling for playoff contention and seeding. And that's going to put the Dallas Cowboys to 11-6. I think I want to say we go 12-5 in my deepest heart, deepest, passions. I hope we go 12-5, 13-4, but we have a pretty tough schedule. Looking at some of those losses, I think that Giants game for me kind of screams that like random Dallas loss. There's probably going to be a win or a loss, give or take, that they do in here. I could see them like losing to the Panthers or something. We always have a random loss that we shouldn't have. But Ben, I have us going 11-6. That's what I think for my Dallas Cowboys.
I liked it, Josh. I liked it to a degree. I liked it to a degree, but you know, I don't know. At the end, I got a little bit of a different ones for mine. I got a
All
little bit
right.
of a different ones, Josh. I'm looking at yours right now. I think you're a little tough on them. For the I got them losing that opener though. I'm just gonna jump to mine, Josh. Mine.
Let's do it.
I I got them losing in that opener against the Giants. I don't know. I got something feeling and corrected Jeff on that one. He said 0-4 against the AFC. So no, Josh has them 1-3. Josh has 1-3. He hasn't beaten the Patriots. That's the lone win
Yep.
for the Cowboys against the AFC East. Not too bad. I got a little bit different. I got them losing this opener. I don't know. I got something feeling for this Giants team. Darren Waller, loving. I'm hearing that he's Dalen Jones's new favorite target over there. Finally a real target besides Kenny Galladay. Whatever remains of Kenny Galladay was over there. When they paid him, he kind of just stopped playing. So, never mind, Jeff. Sorry, Jeff. I apologize, Jeff. Wow, that's yeah, he's 0-4. Never mind. That makes a lot more sense. Yeah, probably not, Jeff. I got to agree with Josh in there as well. I got him beating the Patriots. I'll hit on some of the key ones. I know Josh had him losing to the Jets. I think they beat the Jets. I think they, get a little shaken up after that week one loss to the Giants. I think that rounds everyone, rounds the cages over there a little. Jerry gets starting a little antsy. Dak's starting to feel the pressure. And, I think Aaron Rodgers still week two. I think the Jets are still trying to figure themselves out a little. I think the Cowboys capitalize on that. And as we said, Cardinals, throw them right there with the Rams category. They're just trash. Listen, Kyler's, especially since Kyler's not going to be there for this game. Cowboys easy money. Got them over the Patriots too. I'm not going to agree with Jeff. I think this is, it's going to be a good game, but I think just too much offensive firepower for the Cowboys. The Patriots contest to, yeah, they're going to lose to the Niners, as Josh alluded to. They can't, you can't really beat the Niners. I give them a little more credit. I think this is where sort of our records change up. I think they beat the Chargers. Chargers, another team. I gotta see it to believe it. Another team that's just got injury problems, galore. As Keenan Allen was able to stay healthier than Mike Williams last year. Is that going to say the same? And Mike Williams able to stay healthier, even get himself out there. Always. I know Austin Eckler was a workhorse last year, but you always got to be careful with him. And Herbert was hurt, for the majority of that season too. He played through it, but you saw some of the struggles in the play. So Chargers always got concerns with the injuries, so that's why I'm going to give the Cowboys a win in that one. I think Rams easy. I think they bounce back. I mean, Josh just got the Giants games reversed. I think they split. It's in New York. It's New York. This is a tough rivalry game. These two teams play each other hard, so I got to win in there. After an Eagles loss, I got them going on a little 3-game winning streak. Josh beat up by the Panthers, Commanders. Got them losing that Seahawks game. A little tougher. I think the Seahawks, pretty tough team. Can't forget about what they did last year. I got to bounce back with the Eagles win. Another just rivalry game. This NFC East always splits them. I think Jalen Hurts and that team is going to come back down to earth. Although I still think they're going to be atop the NFC, but I think the Cowboys going to be able to split, lose the Bills. Sorry, Josh. I don't want to shout it to Jared with that one, but I think it's just going to be too tough in Buffalo. As Josh said, that stadium was just electric, pretty loud at times. So. And then I got to win against the Dolphins. I know I got a weird feeling about this game. I think they go into Miami, win this one, finish out the season strong. I'll go over the lines. That's gonna be a tough game. I think they come away late in that game. As Josh mentioned, always a tough road game. Always a tough road game to end with the Commanders, but I think they always get it done. So it's gonna be a little tough test. But Josh, I got him going 12-5. It was a little more upbeat than Josh. I thought Josh was going to go 12-5. Not upbeat, I should say. A little more positive. for the Cowboys. Thought Josh was going to go 12-5 with me, but I got him 12-5. I think it's going to be a good season for the Cowboys.
Hey, I hope so. I hope you're right. We got Ben saying 12-5. James says 11-6 for the Dallas Cowboys. So just want to throw that one in there. That is James's prediction for the Dallas Cowboys in their record, 11-6. Yeah, I got the Zoom thing coming back in and out, in and out. But yeah, I like that. I think 11-6, 12-5 would be great. It's a tough division. Like I said, I love my Cowboys, but you got to be a little realistic here. Now we're gonna fast forward over to the Steelers. So I'm gonna give you my picks for the Steelers, and it's all gonna start off with rainbows and butterflies for the Steelers. They're going to win their first 2 games, and they are going to shock the world week 1 like they always do, dating back to that Buffalo Bills game, then to that Bengals game where they won week 1. Tough environment for the 49ers. I'm not fully sold yet on Brock Purdy. Mr. Irrelevant becomes Mr. Relevant last year. I don't know how well he's going to do for that this year. I think the Steelers eke it out. Good defensive battle in that game. That's going to be a very good game, 1 o'clock game. Then they're going to go on to Cleveland, who I'm just not buying. Monday Night Football, well rested. They're feeling great off of a big win. I think they're going to get the job done at home. Like I said, I'm not buying the Deshaun Watson. I'm not buying his weapons. I love Amari Cooper, but Nick Chubb, there's only so much they can do. I think the Steelers are a more well-rounded team. I think they're the better team in that division. Huge divisional game. I think the Steelers know that. They're going to go out and want to get an early divisional win. Then it brings me to that Sunday night game. Raiders, you guys are probably scratching your heads here. I think this is going to be a loss. I think this is going to be that weird Steelers game where they don't show up. The offense is going to go through lulls. This is going to be kind of a trap game for the Steelers, I think. 2 wins in a row. Going to get some false love here. I think they get the loss here against the Raiders. I don't know. Weird feeling, but I feel that. Then we're going to move forward here. The Steelers are going to trickle a couple wins here in a row. They're going to go into Texas, Houston, that will be, and beat the Houston Texans at a 1 o'clock game. I think they're going to trounce them. Or not trounce. I'll say 10 or more. I think the Texans are going to kind of show shades of what the Lions were last year, where people are going to kind of throw them out, but they're going to be competitive. The record's not going to kind of speak for how competitive that they'll be. I think the Steelers win that one by 10 or more. Steelers also win at home against the Ravens. I think they got a split with them. I think those 2 teams are very even as well. I like the Steelers a little bit better with home field advantage, so that's why I'm going to go to the Steelers in that one. And they get a bye week. They're going into the bye week. They're rolling. They're better than the Patriots and the Cowboys at this point. They're 4-1.
Feeling good.
They come back. They roll right into the Rams, who I believe we play after our bye week as well. So they play the Rams week 7. That's a win on the road. I'm not buying this Rams team. I'm sorry, Charlie. I don't love their defense. They don't have Jalen Ramsey anymore. They don't have ball hawks in that secondary. They've got Aaron Donald. That's about it. They don't got Bobby Wagner anymore. They're just... I don't think the Rams are going to be that good. I think they went all in that 1 year. I think the Steelers get the job done. And then they have a little weird moment here. They go back home. They get their first loss against the Jaguars, who I know you Steelers fans are like, he's not wrong. They just always seem to give Ben and his Steelers a hard time. I think the Steelers lose this one. There's going to be those losses where the Steelers, we think that they should have it and they shouldn't. They have a pretty good schedule, fair schedule, so I will say they bounce back. But they lose this one, lose on a short week, Thursday Night Football to the Titans. This one, I know people are probably like, what the hell? I think Derrick Henry's going to give them all they can handle. Beat up on that running defense there a little bit. I know a lot of people are thinking they can probably equalize that. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think the Steelers suffer 2 losses in a row. Then they go into Green Bay. They win that one. I like Jordan Love. I like the story. Maybe they can win that division. That division's up for grabs. But I think the Steelers are going to get the job done. I think the Packers defense is a little overrated. I like Jair Alexander and those boys, but Stokes, Razal Douglas, those guys are good, but they're not going to have enough for Kenny Pickett. And I'm going to say by this week, maybe a little bit early, I'll say this week. I'll stick with my gut. I think we're going to start to really see that Kenny Pickett and George Pickens connection. If there was a most improved player in the NFL award, I think it would go to him. I think these two are going to really make things happen. I know it. I know it sounds crazy, and I'm going off the preseason stuff, but I feel that way. So I think Steelers get a win here. Then back to those two lulls here. Cowboys have the same thing. Steelers have the same thing. Two tough environments on the road, divisional games. I think they lose one to the Browns. Since the big bad Steelers and Big Ben and the Bumblebees, I feel like the Browns have always kind of been able to play tough on the Steelers. I think they're going to struggle in that game. I also think they're going to split with the Bengals as well. I know a lot of people have the Bengals coming out of that division. I'm not saying that they won't, but I think the Steelers could potentially have a better record, but they're going to drop this one. And then this is when the huge win streak comes along here. They're going to roll into, actually at home, they're going to roll back in at home against the Cardinals. They're going to finally get revenge on those Patriots. There's only so many times the Patriots can keep taking your number. Thursday Night Football, they're going to win that one. Then they're going to go into the Colts, into Indianapolis, and beat up on Anthony Richardson if he's still starting at that point. They don't have much going. Jonathan Taylor and company, is it even and company, because we don't even know what his situation is going to be by the time the trade deadline rolls around. They don't want him. He doesn't want to be there. Steelers get it done. They beat up on that team. I'll say that this is probably their biggest blowout of the season. I'm sorry, Jeff and Jose. Cover your eyes. Could maybe be that Texans one, but I don't know. I have a feeling the Texans will keep games a little bit competitive. Weird bold take for me. But back to this, I think this is the biggest win of their season. Steelers are rolling. They're going to roll this momentum right back into Pittsburgh. They're going to beat the Bengals. They split, as Ben mentioned, in the NFC East,
No.
AFC North is tough as well. You're going to see some splits in this division. Steelers take that one. Then they've got two tough games on the road. I think they drop both of those games. One against Seattle, one against the Ravens. I think Bengals and Ravens and Browns, maybe they split with. They go 3-3 in their division. That's interesting. I actually didn't even realize that till right now. Give or take a win or loss, I have the Steelers record at 10-7. I think the Steelers sneak into the playoffs. Loaded AFC. I think they find a way, and honestly, I could see this team going 12-5, 11-6. I was just trying to be a little predictable. I know it's a second year here. Sometimes the quarterbacks go through sophomore slumps. They've still got some kinks there maybe on the offensive side of things. Najee Harris, can he bounce back to himself? Overall, I think things are going to be fine in Pittsburgh. I think they find a playoff spot. I'm not sure on the division yet. I could see Jared's point of the Bengals taking a step back. The Ravens still, I'm not all sold on Lamar Jackson. Everybody knows that. So I threw a lot of information at you. I think the Steelers are a lock for the playoffs. And maybe a divisional win. Give or take a win or loss. I like the Steelers going 10-7.
Hey, I'll take it, Josh. That was a good one. 10-7. The most important part, just slipping into the playoffs. Just got to get into there. That's all you got to do. I was a little more lenient. Listen, I was a little more maybe biased with mine. Looking back at it, listen, this is all dependent on TJ Watt's health too. We can just make that pretty apparent, make that pretty clear. If he's there, we're just totally a different team. We are able to win some of these games, and if he's not, it changes the outcomes of some of these ones, Josh, big time. So I think similar to Josh, I know something about week one, as he's mentioned, the classic Buffalo. Yeah, I'm going to take the win. I'm going to take the win. Classic Buffalo 2 years ago, then the crazy just madness game with the Bengals. That was a good win. Like I said, I'm a little more lenient with them, as you can see. Guy got us going 4-0 to start off with. Like you said, I think we'll get that rest Monday. Deshaun Watson still working out some things over there. So week two, listen, I'm not crapping on the Browns too much, but yeah, listen, he's still hasn't played football for a long time. I still think he's trying to just figure out that offense. I think we take advantage of that. Hey, no more Big Ben, so took him forever to beat the Raiders. I believe he did in his final season. I don't think Kenny does that long. I think he gets a win here. I think this team's rolling. Uh, and we take, here we go. I knew she was going to suck this. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Uh, he says no chance, but listen, there might be. There might be a chance.
Very
Because I
well
mean,
could be.
if we get three, hey, listen, if we get 3-0, the Texans, easy money. We're going to go with the Texans. We'll just roll over them. This is where I think, we hit that lull. We're looking at that bye week, maybe a little ahead of ourselves. I think the Ravens take one right here. Ravens, always a little tough one. As Josh has mentioned, yeah, AFC North, NFC's tough rivalries. Usually just split them. Uh, I think they take advantage of us right here. I think we get a little, I think we're starting to think we're a little too good, a little better than we are. 4-0. When you really look at it, that's kind of a little soft schedule. Obviously, not those first two ones. Well, the Browns. So that's a tough first game, but Raiders having problems. Just in general, Jimmy G, isn't really healthy. I know he was cleared and all of that, but he's still concerns over there. I know they got Josh Jacobs there. But I mean, our team's going to figure him out now. We figured out, hey, if we just stop Josh Jacobs, what are they going to do now? Jimmy G and Devontae Adams going to have that chemistry. So I mean, those are a couple winnable games. I know he's getting ahead of himself, but listen, there's a lot of, just remember those keywords. There's not a chance. That's the key phrase, I should say. Everyone's saying not a chance, but we're looking at, besides that 49ers game, three typically easy games. Looking at the schedule wise, but we do have the easiest schedule in the league, just based off the opponent's records last year, Josh. So that's what I'm going to lean on, but I think we go into that bye with a loss. I think we bounce back with the win over the Rams. Like you mentioned, the Rams are just, the defense is all gone. Nobody's really around anymore. We got to see how healthy Cooper Kupp is, how he's going to bounce back from that injury. Another guy, hey, are they going to figure him out? Losing the last three games. We'll get to that. But I think we lose this Jacksonville one. We're already going after me. But Jacksonville's always tough with us. I think the Jags get our number. I know Cheese got his Clemson bias. I know he said Deshaun Watson was going to shock the world, but this is the true Clemson quarterback in the league. Trevor Lawrence, I think. They're going to get the win over us. I think they got that one. I don't know. Something about the Jags. The Jags just always have a number ever since those crazy defenses wrecking havoc on Big Ben and AB and just yelling at AB all the time. Had some good duels with Jalen Ramsey. I don't know about Josh on this one. The Titans are, he makes a good point about the run defense. The run defense is very vulnerable. We saw Dalvin Cook tear us up, Austin Eckler, a couple of years ago, just really tore us up. But I think we're gonna get this one overall. I think that quarterback situation just still is kind of a mess in that team. So kind of just messy. So I think Steelers can take advantage of that. More well-rounded team. Back-to-back wins. Green Bay. I'll take that one. This is where me and Josh agree. I think we hit this a little low right here. This is just two tough rivalry games. I think the Browns and Bengals get us both on those ones. And this is a nice little end to the season for us. I didn't realize how good it was, Josh. But Cardinals, easy money. They're just going to be in disarray, Pats. I know they're going to get Kyler Murray back, for the Cardinals' sake, but I think the Cardinals are just going to be done at that point. Pats, let's just get a win. Let's finally get a win after last year's, debacle too. I think we bounce back. Colts win. Bengals, I think we lose again. I don't think we pick up a game against the Bengals. I don't know. Something about that team. I know Joe Burrow, injury concerns, but I think they ultimately win that division. So I got them losing there. I still think we make the playoffs, but I think ultimately, tied records. Listen, I didn't look at the full picture, but I think the Steelers, Bengals come out of that division. Take a pick with that division winner. Then listen, I know Josh has losing it, but I got to reverse it. I got to do it. We got to split with the Ravens, and I think we take that Seahawks game, even though it's a toss-up for me. I could see us very well losing that game. But as Aiden mentioned, yes, I got the record as 12-5. little easy on them. But I think it's just mainly because of this easy schedule, easiest schedule in the NFL. I think we're going to reap the rewards of that. I think we're going to take advantage of it. So 12-5. But like I said, a bunch of toss-ups in there. Could see 11-6, or Josh is 10-7. But key thing for this team is injuries. We got to keep that defensive side healthy and make sure Kenny just doesn't regress.
I like it, Ben. And hey, I just want to say, I think me, you, and James are kind of on the same page in terms of this Steelers team. I think they're going to be pretty sneaky good. Besides you and in Cody, obviously, because you guys are Steelers fans, I will say one of the people who have been all in on them is Jared. Jared thinks they're going to win that division.
Oh, here we go.
Jared likes the Steelers this year, and hey, guess what? I saw Marianne's comment. She might be right. I might be underestimating the Steelers. I might be
11-6 is good,
that.
Josh. You know, that's fine.
I had you at 10-7. I said give or take, it could go to 11-6. I think I might have been a little harsh on that. Either the Raiders or, the Titans game. Whatever. I think they're going to be well over 500, the Steelers, this year. Let's fast forward over to James, who also has them at 12-5, which is very, very shocking here. I feel like he's always chirping here on the Steelers. He's got them at 12-5. So there you go. There's your look at the Steelers predictions.
On that too. Josh, sorry, but agree with Chi on that one. Easily the toughest division. Hey, I know the East is getting a lot of love too, but we're right there up them. We're right there with them, I believe. You never know. Hey, if the Jets plunder, we're all pretty good. I think the Browns added up on that defensive side. So AFC North, pretty tough division, Josh. Pretty tough.
Oh, I agree, Ben. I think it's always kind of within the last 10 years. I feel like it's been tough. The divisional opponents are pretty tough as well. It's been getting better as well, especially with the Ravens, Bengals. Steelers have always been a great team, been above 500. Mike Tomlin hasn't gone below 500 since he's been there, so they've always been a solid team. But teams around them have gotten a lot better. But hey, maybe, I don't know, maybe Nick is right. Maybe the Bengals don't make the playoffs. Maybe something happens. Maybe their defense doesn't, light up like they did a couple years ago. You never know. We'll wait to see what happens with that. But here we go. We've got the Patriots record here. I'm going to rattle off some games here. As much as I would love for the Patriots to handle business week 1, I think they're going to be in over their head. I think Philly's going to win that game. I hate to say it, but I got to be realistic. I can't be... At least now. Maybe it'll change when me and Ben do our week-to-week predictions, but I think the Patriots struggle with mobile quarterbacks in Jalen Hurts. Personally, coming from a Cowboys fan, I think is the best balance of a quarterback you can get in the National Football League aside from Patrick Mahomes. I think he's a smart runner. I think he's a great thrower. I think he's a very intelligent player, and I think this Philadelphia Eagles team has a better team. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to gloat about this Philadelphia Eagles team because I'm not going to take anything away from them. I think they get that win on the road. So Patriots go down 0-1. Then they win a game at home against Miami, who usually does have their number. Sunday night. I know I kind of was saying that Dallas might lose to Miami, but I don't know what their situation is with Tua. Hopefully he's ready to go. If he is ready to go, Patriots, cross your fingers because I don't think they have a win against Tua yet. But I think they're going to get one at home this year, especially after that loss in week 1. I think they're going to rattle off a win. Then it gets tough. You got the Jets on the road. The Jets always play tough. They've got Aaron Rodgers. As much as I don't fully believe that the Jets are going to be this big, bad team in the AFC, I do think they're going to give the Patriots a hard time. I do think that they have the better team, better roster in general. I think the Jets get this win. Then we fast forward over to Dallas. There's not too much for me to say. Ezekiel Elliott, I'm sorry. You're going to come back home. You're going to get your touchdown, but you're not going to get the win. I think Dallas wins that. So you're looking at 1-3 for the Patriots. Then they rattle off a couple wins. I love the Saints. I think they have a chance to win that division this year in a very weak division. But the Patriots, they're going to go out. They're going to get a good win. They're going to beat a good team, and that's going to be the Saints. They're going to play competitive football this year, guys. They get this win against the Saints. Bill Belichick's been known to kind of own the Saints as well. I like Derek Carr, but I think the Patriots have an answer for them in that one. Then we fast forward. This is a game Bill Belichick is circling. This New England football team is circling. You got Jacoby Myers just went over to that team. Josh McDaniels, the head coach. That weird circus pass last year. They want revenge. They're going to get their revenge on the road. Their first road win of the season to this point. Then they travel back. Couple losses here. They're going to lose to the Bills at home, who are the best team in that league. The best team in that division, excuse me. Let me not get ahead of myself. Then they lose to the Dolphins on the road. Most Patriots fans can probably agree with me there. That's usually a tough game for the Patriots going into Miami. Plus, I already have you guys beating them week 2. You'll split that one. Then you get a win. You're going to rattle off a couple wins here. You're going to get a win against a very, I don't know what to think of, Washington team who's probably going to come in last. Sam Howell. It all starts with your quarterback, ends with your quarterback. I think the Patriots have the better quarterback and the better football team, so I think they get that win over the Commanders in a game where they just pound on them. It's going to be similar to that Colts game last year where they just absolutely trounced them. Then they roll on over at home. Sunday game, 9:30, early game in the morning. They're going to win that game. They're going to beat the Colts. I like the Colts. I think Anthony Richardson's been able to wow some people in the preseason. I don't think he's going to wow Bill Belichick at home. I think the Patriots crowd gets it going. They're going to have some wins here. They're not going to go 4-13 like some people are saying. They're not going to be 5-12. They're going to get some good football wins here, and this is going to be a good overall win. Then they're going to get a bye week. They're going to get that well rest, and they're going to go right into New York, and they're going to win that game against the Giants. They're going to help the Cowboys out a little bit. They're going to roll right back into home. They're going to beat the Chargers in a game that I will probably change my stance on come week 13. But I don't know. I think all 3 of our teams sweep the Chargers. As much as I love the Chargers, I tell people they're my second favorite team. I'm always a Chargers guy, but I do think the Patriots get their win there. And then this is where it's going to start the lulls here, is me and Ben's key word here for losses. I think they lose to the Steelers in primetime Thursday night game. Lose to the Chiefs in a game that I will be attending. Chiefs are just the better team. Tough game, even if it's at home. Then they're going to finish off pretty decent here. They're going to beat the Broncos on the road. That's a tough game. But I think the Patriots get it done in a gritty win. Very tough atmosphere. Probably one of the toughest places to play. Mile High, they get it done. I don't know what their situation is with Russell Wilson. Let's ride. Running backs, carousel. I don't know who they're going to throw the ball to. They already got injuries there in Denver. They're going to be an absolute shit show, to excuse my French. So I think they get the win there. They're going to get swept to the Bills. I'm sorry. Yes, 3 years in a row. You're not going into Buffalo and winning. I'm sorry. I can hear Tyler. I can hear James. I can hear the diehard Patriots fans on Twitter yelling at me right now, but the Buffalo Bills own you. They own that division. They're going to win that division. They're going to win that game. And then, Patriots fans, you can rejoice. You're going to win at home against the Jets. Remember I told you you're not too far behind the Jets. I like what the Patriots did in the offseason. I still think they lack that number 1, Ben, and that's why they're going to go 9-8 again. Or not again. They went 8-9 last year, but they're going to get one more win than last year. I like what the Patriots have done. I think they're going to have a couple good, impressive wins. That Denver game on the road is not going to be easy at all. That's going to be a tough environment. They're going to get that win. I think that Chargers game is going to be a pretty good win for them. The Steelers game's honestly a toss-up. They have a couple other toss-ups, but you're looking at a 9-8, 10-7, absolute best, maybe 8-9 team here. That's the threshold, 8-10 wins. I think they meet in the middle. I'll meet in the middle with 9. They get the job done. But guess what? They're going to miss a playoff spot yet again. I think they finish above 500, but they don't get the job done to get in the playoffs. They go 9-8. The Patriots do not make the playoffs. I'm sorry. Tough division. Tough AFC.
Tough division, Josh. Yeah, sorry, Patriots fans. I know they're going to yell at me for my list, probably, but can't argue too much with this one from Josh. I think everyone, even, the diehards would never admit it, but I think they know deep down, you're not winning that game week 1. I mean, the Eagles, I think they're going to come in there, I believe, yeah, week, yeah. But I forget, was it home? Was it home for the Patriots or is it
Patriots
away?
are home. That's the Tom Brady
This is
ceremony
Tom
that
Brady's
everybody's
ceremony. Yeah,
excited for.
they're not gonna. Yeah, Tom Brady's gonna disappoint them one more time. He's gonna
One
they're
more
gonna lose
time.
that one. I think, like Josh said, I think Jalen Hurts is just gonna tear them up, tear that defense up. I think they bounce back. I think they get that Miami win. As Josh mentioned, they always split
Whoops,
Miami,
there
so
we go. Sorry, Ben.
there's my
I was a
first
little
Miami.
delay. Now I got it on the
Oh,
screen for you. Sorry. You're good.
no, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, Jets. I'm gonna give them the win early on. I give them the win early on. I know Josh is a little intrigued by that one. I know everyone else will be. As I mentioned before with Josh's Cowboys, I think still early on with the Jets. I think they'll be starting to figure out some of the things with Rodgers. I know he's already been the offensive line dilemmas, and everyone's already been making a big thing out of that. So I think they're going to still be working out some of the kinks there. So I give them that one. 2-1, nice start, but it comes back down to earth a little. Cowboys beat them up. Yeah, I gotta get the win. Come on, we gotta get Josh's Cowboys a win right there. Like I said, too much offensive firepower for the Patriots. Good defense, but I think the Cowboys just take advantage of that. Uh, a little different one. I don't know. I think the Saints. I got a weird feeling about this one, Josh. I think the Saints come in there and they win. I think this is a tough defense that finally got a quarterback. So Zach, don't get too excited, but I think this offense is going to be able to compete with them. Derek Carr is going to be able to just lead a competent. That's all they need over there, Noah. They've had the defense for many years now. They just need a competent quarterback. Not named Andy Dalton to lead it over there. Maybe not Jameis Winston, who had some moments, but you got a guy like Derek Carr with some solid weapons over there. Kamara still dealing with some legal problems, but we'll see how that fares out. Michael Thomas still dealing with some injuries, but I mean, if we could get Thomas back at least in some capacity, I think that'll help out that offense excel. Got to be in the Raiders. Raiders, I'm not too confident. I know we've been talking about Rams, Cardinals, trash. I don't think the Raiders are in their trash category yet. I think it's just too many concerns with them. Devontae Adams was just brought in for Derek Carr, and it just took one season to get rid of him. So I'm kind of confused. Devontae Adams, purpose on this team. Obviously, he's still one of the best wide receivers in the league, but you kind of got him with that connection with Derek Carr. So you got to see about that Jimmy G one. So I got them winning that one. Bills. Again with Josh in this one, lost with the Bills. Then he split with Miami, got two back-to-back losses. Commanders, nice little streak right here, right before the bye. Commanders, Colts getting back on track. Giants, they always got the Giants number. They're still pissed about the Super Bowls. I think they get this one. I don't know. I guess me and Josh didn't look at these ones. I don't know why. We're just being up on the Chargers this year. I don't really have faith in the Chargers. I think
Sweet.
clean sweep. I don't know. Something about the Chargers. I think that division's just getting them alive. Loss. I'm not going to agree with Jeff on this one either. Or Chi. We got to go back to back losses. Steelers, Chiefs. That Chiefs game is going to be interesting. Going to be cool. Josh being in attendance is probably going to be the only cool thing about it for Patriots fans. They're probably going to get beat down. The Chiefs. Come on, that's not going to be really too much of a game. Bounce back. A little tough. Little tough end of the season as I look at it. They lose last four of the last five. I get the win against the Broncos, but Bills, Jets. I think, clean sweep for the Bills. Jets finally figure out some semblance to beat them. And the Pats go 89. Well, I know some of the Patriots fans are going to be a little upset with that one, but I just see how that's going to go for them. Just sort of fell into the trap of the Steelers last year, too. Just they got one of the league's toughest schedules. So unfortunately, that's what's going to happen. I mean, they got to play, the NFC East, AFC West, just some of these top tier divisions. And, me and Josh get to skate by with the NFC South and NFC West. So, AFC South, excuse me. Yeah. So, kind of works out some of the years. Unfortunately, that's just how the schedule goes. But I think Patriots 8-9. Sorry, Patriots fans. I know they'll probably let me hear it tomorrow, but sorry about that.
Definitely will, especially for that Interesting fantasy football cookout tomorrow. We've got James's picks, and James has his Patriots at 10-7. Of course, he didn't do the game by game, but he gave us his breakdown on that. You had to figure he was going to say 10-7, the homer. That's probably their ceiling, in my opinion. Like, I mean, absolute ceiling. Everything goes right. Injuries after injuries for other teams. Like, everybody plays to high capacity. Like, Ramondre Stevenson, Ezekiel Elliott's back to his old self. Defense is firing on all cylinders. I think that's their ceiling. But overall, yeah, I think these are all fair. I think we all have Dallas around the same. We all have Steelers around the same. We all agree that Steelers have a lighter schedule, which finally, rightfully so, you kind of deserve that this year, Ben. And the Patriots, it's going to be interesting, but I don't know. I don't know how well they're going to do. I think I'll say between 8 and 10. That's what I feel, Ben. I don't know how much more I can sit here and say it. I think having a number one wide receiver is important. It pays dividends, and none of those guys are a number one. You have a fringe number two guy in Juju, and I think you're going to be good. I think you're going to be solid, but you're not going to be playoff solid and playoff ready. If you were in the NFC, maybe, just because the NFC is a lot weaker than the AFC, but this AFC year is loaded, and your division is loaded as well. So there's a very big chance you could come in last in your division. I don't think that's going to happen, but you never know.
Like Josh said, you never know. And you got to give them the benefit of the doubt, but eventually it's going to happen. Eventually, these teams are going to eventually become a little better. The Patriots have been accustomed to beating up on them over the years. So, they eventually get better. Eventually just get tired of getting beaten up on. You start to see some of those key players, obviously, like the Bradys and the Groks leave. And, the Patriots going to have to get used to some losing now. We all do. Sort of seeing the guard of our team sort of, Big Ben leaving. Dak, Josh has still got the youngest guy, Josh. But I mean, Dak's getting up there too low. So you got to watch out for that. But mainly for the Steelers and Patriots, we got to accept that, we're going to get to some tough times right now. We're going to have to adjust to losing. Like I said, the Steelers a little easier with the schedule this year. Hopefully you can get some confidence in some of these young guys. But I'm just unfortunate for the Patriots. We're not trying to hate on them, but I think the schedule just a little bit of hate, Josh. I said, we gotta poke a little fun at them, but I think it's just too tough of a schedule. I think they should just get an unfortunate draw right there, and I got them 8 and 9. I'm sure I'll hear from it, but 8 and 9.
It's a tough schedule, and it's a tough division. I mean, you went 8 and 9 last year. A lot of people probably had aspirations for 11 and 6, 10 and 7. It's just, you've got to be realistic. That's why I think Dallas could even go 10 and 7 this year. I mean, it's just you never know what's going to happen. Everybody goes on paper says all these things. We're looking at these schedules and we could be completely wrong. A bunch of our teams are probably going to have one or two, probably one big game that they win that none of us were expecting, and then they're definitely going to have a game that they lose that we weren't expecting. We could lose to the Panthers, like the Cowboys. It's just it's something that could happen. Anything is in the open. Any given Sunday is one of the sayings, and just wanted to say thank you to everybody for tuning in. This was a great show as always. Thank you to everybody across all social media platforms. We're back. We're going to be here. We're going to give you our first. I cannot wait to give you our week-to-week picks and predictions. Those are going to come back for the second half of our show. It's going to be very football heavy moving forward. We're done with preseason. We're here. We've got no football this week, but next week we're going to have football and an interesting Thursday night game, Lions, Chiefs. Again, just want to say thank you to everybody for tuning in. I'm going to leave it on this note before I turn it over to Ben. Cowboys 11-6, Steelers 10-7, Fringe 11-6, Patriots 9-8, and what the hell, Yankees? Like, what the hell? We suck. That's how I'm gonna leave it.
Yeah, Yankees not doing too well. Red Sox not too far ahead of them. let's just pack it in. Let's just get into the next season. As everyone knows, let's go after Shohei. That's what I'll say after that one. But yeah, thank you as always for listening, commenting. That was a big comment one today. So everyone's kind of after us for our records. We'll hold these predictions throughout the season. We'll see how we fare. But I'll end it on this: 12-5 Cowboys, 8-9 Patriots, 12-5 Steelers.